Okay, thank you so much for the kind introduction. I wish I could be there in person. We had a great meeting there a few years ago when we had our Region 9 chapters training, but now I'm serving as your PES president. It's my pleasure to really open the TD Latin American 2020 conference. So, just a few words about IEEE. We are the largest professional association with over 400,000 members around the world, with great technical depth and breadth, and really focused a lot now on social impact, working in humanitarian programs and so forth. So I understand in South America that you do have other options, so I just wanted to present some of what IEEE is doing. We are part of IEEE with 37 other technical societies, and you see the PES there and all of the boxes below. We have vice presidents in charge of each of those areas, and focused on really helping to advance technology for everyone around the world. Last year, we grew to over 40,000 members, first time ever, largest ever. And as you can see there from the membership around the world, some of areas are really growing fast. Region 10 is one of the faster growing areas of the world for IEEE. And Region 9, we are really focused there, trying to do work and to really help Region 9 understand the benefits of IEEE and to work together with you to grow IEEE and the Power and Energy Society in Latin and South America. This has been a crazy year, as most of you know. I was privileged to open up the first conference in February, ISGT North America in Washington, and that's actually the last conference I attended in person. Everything else has gone virtual around the world, obviously along with the conference there this week in Montevideo. But we want to stay safe, and we want to do the right thing. And in many ways, I think more people are participating in some of the conferences virtually than they would have if the conference had been in person. So it's not all bad, but we hope to get back to normal sometime soon, whatever soon means. Just a few words about our technical community. I understand that Latin America and South America probably uses IEC standards more than IEEE standards, but these are all of our technical committees that are charged with developing standards for our industry. So look at those, and there's a website for each one of those if you're interested in those areas. You can find those on the Power and Energy System website and dig down and find contact information. We're really reaching out to our members around the world, and we've recently acquired a number of WebEx licenses so the technical committees can really have input for those people not able to travel to in-person meetings. So we welcome your input in the standards development. Right now, PES has over 45% of all IEEE standards. And it's it's an important process. I've spent a lot of time in my career participating in the TND committee and the switchgear committee, but there are a lot of other options there as well. But as you see there in the circle there, it starts from a project authorization request. The working group gets together, creating a draft, balloting, and then having it approved, and then maintaining it. So if you're interested in standards, please get involved. We've also focused recently on providing a lot of training for our members. Some areas of the world do require continuing education units or PDHs to maintain your professional license. So we're having a lot of webinars and even on-site training some places before COVID, of course, and even doing plain talk for non-electrical engineers if you have the need for that. So those courses are available. And recently we have put everything into the IEEE PES Resource Center. And this is has access for all of our members to go in and really find pretty much anything you're looking for. And we recently added the PES University to the Resource Center. And it's a great place to really keep up on all the current trends. And as you know, and the future of the electric grid is somewhat uncertain, and we're learning as we go. So we'll continue to have education there on the new things that are being learned and being applied across the world. We've always had a history of engaging with the academic community, but we also like to get involved with the end users, the practitioners, the utilities, the manufacturers, and share ideas. These conferences are great for that. And obviously, it was easier to do in person, and you could have one-on-one conversations with many of the panelists and speakers. But with the virtual conference, we're definitely having Q&A sessions. But, you know, we will get back to in person when it's safe. Poster presentations, also a great place to walk around and in the hall and talk to the presenters one-on-one and to learn about their research. And as I mentioned before, the standards development, we're really opening that up to worldwide participation. One of the things that we did several years ago was start publishing the Power and Energy magazine in Spanish, and hopefully that is helping to access our members in Latin and South America. We've also just launched a new open access journal in Power and Energy. If you need to publish in an open journal, we have one now, and we welcome your participation. We also send out monthly e-news briefs and also a bi-weekly e-bulletin and other email announcements. And one of the things that I think has really contributed to our growth is a large group of young professionals. And as you can see from some of the pictures, it looks like they like to get together and have fun. So hopefully they have figured out how to do that virtually as well. When we had PES Day this year on April the 22nd, we had student and I guess leaders all over the world, and they organized over 500 virtual events around the world to celebrate PES Day. So they know how to do this kind of stuff. So I encourage you to reach out, and if you are in one of your chapters and get young professionals involved working with students, it's a great way. And we want to, you know, show the students while they're still in college that PES is a great professional network, and to help them get involved while they're still students. And then when they graduate, they'll naturally become members and participate and help us to grow our society. I mentioned one of the other things that we are working on is Humanitarian Efforts. This program was launched within PES, and just last year we broadened that out. I think we have now 10 other societies that are participating on the board for Smart Village, and we're also working on development programs in Latin and South America as well. And this is a great program to help those that don't have access to electricity. So if you're interested in those sorts of activities, you can look at the Smart Village webpage. And then as we wrap up, we like to award our members and recognize them for all of their contributions. And this year it was kind of different since the awards gala was virtual as well in Montreal. Well, at least it was being broadcast from there, but individual award videos were made for each of the major awards. So please nominate people that you think are qualified, and we'd love to have your participation there. And let me just wrap up with these are ideas and things that we're working on at Georgia Tech, thinking about where we are today and where we're headed, the current grid and the future grid. And we've got a few pictures around too, but electric transportation is really poised to really take over, both in passenger vehicles, light duty vehicles, and over the road trucks. So a lot of work is underway there. Obviously, the influence of renewables has been huge even my old company, Southern Company, the coal plants are coming down, and they're being replaced by large solar farms. For those access to good wind resources, they're also growing very good. And then seems like the hurricanes and the storms are getting bigger and better, if you want to call it that. And the whole issue of resiliency is before us, and that's before everybody. And then, data centers are huge loads going on the system. And we've seen a lot of them where they build a huge solar farm around the data center and combine those together. So when you think about the old utility being centralized with large assets, large transmission lines, the future grid's not going to be like that. It's going to be decentralized and distributed. And we have our control centers today that we try to plan and schedule to make sure the proper generation is online to serve whatever load shows up. In the future, that's not going to be done that way. It's going to kind of be ad hoc and variable, and hopefully self-regulating. We do coordinate and dispatch the current grid today, and in the future, we want to build in the automation and the optimization capability starting basically at the edge and working back upwards. And today, if you ask the guys in the control room what's going on out there on the distribution, they probably don't have much of a clue. But in the future, it's going to be controlled dynamically at the grid edge and then hopefully smart all the way back upstream. So we're going from a top-down, structured, fragile environment to a bottom-up, fractal, and resilient environment. So, just because a tree fell across that line doesn't mean the whole feeder needs to be out. And if you build it right and design it right, it can be very resilient. So we've got to change our thinking from grid as a resource with a limited market to grid as an ecosystem with a very broad market. And today, generation follows the load. We put as much generation online as we need to serve whatever load shows up. In the future, load's going to follow generation. And that can also work very well, and as long as it's built and designed that way. So a lot of things are changing, and we've got to really be ready for these changes. And in I guess the best sense, we need to lead those changes, not to be caught surprised by them. So I appreciate the opportunity to be with you this morning, and I'd be happy to answer a few questions if there are any.
Thank you, Frank. Are there any questions for Frank? ¿Hay alguna consulta, alguna inquietud que quieran transmitir a Frank, por favor? Bueno, viendo que no hay ninguna consulta, entonces agradecemos a Frank. Frank, there are no questions apparently, but anyway, you will keep in touch with everyone.
Yes.
After this event, anyone can contact you if you want.
Yes, if they have a question, please have them email me. I'll be happy to respond. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be with you this morning.
Okay, thank you for the support, Frank.
Yes, sir. Thank you.